Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellie if you're new here, and I'm actually refilming my intro to this video because the other one didn't really work out very well. But I am hoping to get the pregnancy update filmed, and this video will probably be all over the place depending on when little ones are gonna wake up. I did make myself a little afternoon coffee, and I did write down all the questions from the community tab that you guys asked about this pregnancy. So hopefully we'll get into all those, but I'm excited to finally get a video out for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy this. And so I wrote down all the questions that you guys asked, so we'll see which ones I can get to. Also, my other camera is not working, so that's why I'm using my phone. So just a casual little chat with you guys. I'm gonna try and get through this as quickly as I can. So get the questions answered. But first, I wanted to go into just a pregnancy update. So I'm actually in my third trimester right now. I'm 30-ish weeks pregnant. And I haven't really done much of an update at all with this pregnancy. With this being my fourth pregnancy, it is also a boy. I guess the more kids you have, you just don't really care to do updates, or you just think people don't care. I don't know. It just seems more redundant. But this pregnancy has been drastically different from my others, and I really wanted to share more about this because maybe someone else is going through the same thing, because I didn't really know much about what I'm going through until I was going through it. So I'm gonna give you guys lots of updates on this baby. So let's go ahead and get into it. So far, first trimester was pretty smooth sailing, just food aversions, and didn't really have much morning sickness. I just felt really tired. And I think the first trimester I gained maybe a couple pounds, which is typical. I feel like my first trimester I gain quite a bit because I usually am just like eating junk food and stuff, but that has changed a lot. And then second trimester, I had all the energy, not many food aversions, pretty smooth sailing, and found out it was a boy. And then I found a midwife here in Arkansas, and this is big news, you guys, for a lot of people, probably family. Well, most of our family knows, but for us, it was something really big for us because we've never done this. We never thought we would do this. You know, I occasionally thought maybe I would, but I was always stuck with my hospital births. We are doing a home birth with baby number 4, and there's multiple reasons for that. I don't really need to go into all of them, just based on the research at the hospitals here. They're not good hospitals. The C-section rates are super high, meaning they opt for C-sections more so. There's a lot of interventions, and I'm a natural birthing mama, and I didn't want to go that route. Also, a lot of the OBs are men. I know many women don't care about that. I personally do. It's not my preference. And so it was just very hard and very challenging. It took me a long time to find someone, and then I was like, I'm just gonna go with a midwife and do a home birth. So that's where we're at. I found a wonderful midwife. She's very experienced. She's a CPM, which is a certified professional midwife, and she's licensed. She's delivered hundreds of babies. She just got her own building and everything. So we are very pumped, and she's been wonderful so far. So we're doing a home birth. Anyway, found a really great midwife, and she has helped me a ton with this pregnancy, with learning my body. So I went in around 24, 25 weeks, I think. I could be totally wrong. To do blood work for my glucose, took my glucose test, and I failed my 1-hour glucose test, which I've done this in the past. With Field's pregnancy, I did. Almost failed the 3-hour one with him as well. So most likely I did have gestational diabetes with Field's pregnancy, and the midwife, or the hospital I was going through at the time, didn't really care to tell me to change my diet, to change anything. They just said, oh, you almost failed this one, but you should be fine. That pregnancy, I gained the most weight He was a huge baby, and he also suffered from shoulder dystocia at birth. And so after failing this test with this baby, my midwife was like, which she already found out my glucose was high just from doing prenatal appointments with her. And she would tell me, you need to cut out sugar. And I was like thinking, oh, okay. Like I didn't think much of it. And then when I failed it, she's like, no, seriously, you've got to cut out sugar. So she also recommended this book by Lori Nichols. I think it's Gestational, Real Food for Gestational Diabetes. And so they didn't tell me I had gestational diabetes with this pregnancy, but we're just going with it and working towards, like I do have it, to prevent it. Most likely I could have hardcore developed it if I would have kept up the bad eating. Well, I wasn't even eating bad. It was just my placenta and body wasn't handling sugar well, which that's pretty much what it is. When you're pregnant, your placenta doesn't, something to do with the insulin. I forget how it works. Someone probably out there knows all the scientific part about it. But when you're pregnant, your body handles things differently. And so my midwife told me to cut out sugar, lower carbs, like below 25 grams of carbs practically. And so that's what I've been doing. I'm eating a lot of protein, and I did lose about 4 pounds within like the first 2 weeks of doing this, which they said is normal because it's a lot of fluid you're losing, because when you cut out sugar and you cut out that kind of stuff, usually your body is usually like swollen when you eat that way. And so I've definitely stopped the weight gain because I'm eating such a high protein, low carb, no sugar diet. It definitely has just kind of stayed the same. Baby's growing great, still on track and healthy, but this has been the best for my body. I eat really healthy, like vegetables and lots of meat. So my diet has changed, but I feel great and I don't feel in pain. My belly isn't massive like it's been in the past with different pregnancies. I just feel like I'm just carrying baby and that's it. I don't feel like it's like extra weight gain all over my body. So that has been a major change with this pregnancy. So that's just a little update. And so that's where we're at. And this is supposedly supposed to help eliminate the chances of shoulder dystocia, which 2 of my babies have had. My first 2 boys had it, which gestational diabetes, that's a side effect of it, is shoulder dystocia and jaundice, which all my babies have had jaundice. So we'll see the outcome when this baby's born. If we have super positive experience with this, I'm really praying that all of this is going to pay off, which I'm sure it will, because the testimonies I've heard from changing your diet and eliminating sugar in pregnancy are just mind-blowing. So a home birth and supposedly gestational diabetic with this pregnancy, which kind of stinks, but I'm so thankful that this midwife has really taught me and is teaching me how to have a healthy birth and pregnancy. And it's already been great so far. So anyway, that's an update. I can share more about prepping for home birth and stuff as we get closer. Typically I've had my babies around 37, 38 weeks. I don't know if I'll go longer, considering this baby's probably not going to be as big as the last ones because of my diet change. So I don't know, maybe I will make it to 40 weeks, or maybe my baby will come typical time for me. So we'll see. But let's go ahead and get into the questions that you guys asked over on the post, the community tab. Let's see how many we can get through. Okay, so I didn't write down anyone's names, so I just wrote down the questions. I'm not sure whose these questions are from, but just answering them. Has your pregnancy been any different from your previous ones? What are potential names for baby boy? Yes, so it's definitely been different, like I said, with doing the gestational diabetes diet and stuff. And then just overall feeling so much more better and not so heavy, in the third trimester. Like the third trimester is usually when I start to feel really just miserable and achy. I feel really good, and I pray that I will continue to feel really good until baby's born. Potential baby names. We do have a name picked out. We've changed this name so many times, you guys. I don't know if it's because it's the fourth baby, you have a bunch of other kids now, and so you want to make sure this name fits with your other kids' names, and because our names are all really unique. I'm sure you guys know that. And so we really wanted this one to be unique, and we've changed it so many times. So I will just share the names that we were gonna go with. I'm not gonna share the baby's name because I want to keep that as a surprise. But the first couple names that we were gonna go with were either too long or became super trendy really fast. So the first name we loved, we really liked it for a long time, and it's the name we actually are going back to. So I'm not gonna share that one, but then we went to the name Harrison, and we were gonna call him Harry, but then I thought Harrison was too long because all of our other kids' names are either 1 or 2 syllables. And so I love the name Harry. I think it's so cute, but I was like, we might as well just name the kid Harry, but then we really liked Harrison, so we scratched that name, and then we were gonna name him Rhett. And then I saw so many people announce that their baby boys' names were Rhett when they had their baby boys. And I was like, this name is already so trendy. So I don't like trendy names. My husband and I like very unique names that no one else has. So so we have a name picked out, and it's one that we do love, and I think we're gonna stick with. We've changed this name so many times, so we're just telling people don't monogram anything and don't well, pretty much just wait till the baby's born and we'll tell you what the baby's name is. So that's kind of it. Okay, next one, biggest tip for managing multiple kids in those early newborn stages when hubby goes back to work. Okay, so this is when I do struggle postpartum. Thankfully we do live closer to family, so hopefully I will have a little bit more help. But honestly, I really just take it easy. The TV is definitely on a lot more. Okay, one of my little ones just woke up and he's having a snack over here. So if you hear that, that's my little one. Okay, yeah, like I said, TV is definitely on more, and I just give myself lots of grace because I know it's just a season. And I have to remind myself that so many times, that it's just a season, because I can get caught up in thinking, oh, I need to turn the TV off, or just thinking like, oh, everything is too lax. But in reality, my body needs to heal, and it's just a mental thing. So that's kind of my tip, I guess. Also tips to get kids napping at the same time, and tips on quiet time. So this is something that I'm very, I wouldn't say strict, but I'm very routine with, and I believe in 100%. When you have a lot of little kids that are, pretty close in age, quiet time and nap time all at the same time is very important for your sanity and just to reset the house and reset the day. And one thing I hear a lot from moms is like, oh, they hit a certain age, like they hit 3 years old, and they're like, oh, my kid doesn't want to nap anymore. But the thing is, one thing I've learned is they go through stages to where they will fight naps every once in a while, but you keep with your routine. You keep putting them down for a nap, setting the expectation, setting the routine, and then we'll go back into the routine of napping. Because my 4-year-old he's 4.5, and he most likely takes a nap almost every day still. Sometimes it's probably 1 or 2 days out of the week that he won't take a nap. He'll just do quiet time in our bedroom. But usually I just set the expectation like, hey bud, take a nap or read books, and he will still take naps. So you just got to keep with it. And we do nap time around 12:30, and so that's when everyone goes down, and it's just everyone's in their own room too. So Noble, my oldest, naps, sorry you guys, I'm trying to hold this phone up. Noble naps in our room, and then Field naps in the boys' room. Ivy naps in her room. So when this baby's born, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do things. Probably baby will just hang out with me in here, but we'll see. So yeah, you just gotta get into a routine and stick with it. And sometimes it's hard, but you just gotta get through those hard moments and stay on track, and it pays off. It's wonderful, you guys. Okay, do you think you'll stick with one car as you move to a family of 6? And did you have a girl name picked out? So yes, we're gonna stick with our car. We have a Chevy Traverse, and it seats 5 in the back. So with this baby, we definitely will max it out because you can't fit any more car seats in there. There'll be one spot left in between the boys' car seats, which they're on the back row. It's a very, very cramped little spot. So we're gonna stick with the car for now, and Lord willing, if we do have any more kids, then we have looked into other options, which that's another thing I was gonna get into. We have decided not to do anything permanent, like to prevent kids or anything, to prevent from having kids. We just decided, okay, you know what, right now we don't want to make the decision, are we done having kids? Because we're both still really young, and we love children, and we do believe children are a blessing from the Lord. So if it's the Lord's will for us to have a baby number 5, we shall see. I told Taylor, I said I don't like odd numbers, so I said 6 would be a good number, but then he said 7 because he said that's a biblical number. So I have no idea, you guys. I don't know what God's plan is for our family and if we're going to have more kids. We do feel open and welcome to the idea, just because I don't know, once you experience the chaos of 3, it's like you realize how outnumbered you are, and you kind of relax more after you get past that hard part, and you're just like, okay, what's one more? So that's kind of how we feel, but we'll see. But yeah, so with the fact that we could have more kids, we thought about going with a minivan, but then we thought all of our kids are still going to be in car seats by the time number 5 would come around, and so that takes up a ton of space. So we've looked into other options, like large family car options, like a Ford Transit or something like that, which that sounds huge, but we just don't want to buy a car and then have to go ahead and buy another car like a year or so later. We just want to make the smart financial decision if we know that we are open to having a lot of kids. So I don't know, that's kind of shocking news to a lot of people, but to us it's just the common sense, financially smart option, I guess. So it's kind of where we're at with the car. Did you have a baby girl name picked out? So yes, we did. We loved the name Audrey. We thought that was so cute. I don't know if we'll ever use it, because we found another baby girl name that we like if we were to ever have another girl. So I'm not sure, but we loved the name Audrey. Okay, someone asked, are you still doing intermittent fasting? Plan to postpartum? And what are you doing with all of Ivy's things as she grows out of them? So I'm not doing intermittent fasting. I don't agree with doing that while you're pregnant. I just don't think that's super healthy. I don't know if I will do it postpartum, considering I haven't gained very much weight with this pregnancy. Intermittent fasting definitely helped me lose the baby weight after Ivy's pregnancy, because it's definitely stayed on for a long time. And so that's why I tried that, and it was definitely very helpful. But I don't know, we'll see. I am not sure. And then all of Ivy's things, I'm definitely saving the nicer things that have lasted, and things that she wears out. We do capsule wardrobes, so our kids wear clothes out really quickly. Like by the end of the season, things are pretty much trashed, and that's just the way we do things because it saves money. I don't like to just store a bunch of baby clothes that didn't get used up well. So store the nice things, and then the things that are just trashed, we just throw out. But yes, we're gonna save them in case we ever do have another girl. Do you make birth plans for deliveries? And if so, are you making one for this baby or going with the flow? So typically I do have a birth plan. If you guys do hospital births, The one that I always loved for the hospital was from Mama Natural. She has a really easy template you can use. You can make your own. It's very visual and easy for nurses. They always complimented me on it, said it was super easy. So I always went with that one, and I would always create it the way I wanted it, and that was super helpful. So yes, I do like birth plans, because when you can't communicate to your nurses or doctors at the moment, it's a good visual for them. And it's always been great. They've always respected me on it. I don't care about the comments people say, oh, you have a birth plan, you're one of those high maintenance mamas. I don't think anyone who has a birth plan is high maintenance. I think you know what you want. It's your body, it's your baby, your pregnancy, your delivery, it's your voice. And so ignore the comments of that and just create a birth plan. So like I said, we are doing a home birth, so my midwife knows. She's very naturally minded, like we are, and so she just knows what we've communicated, so on and so forth. So she does know the plan. Do you go places with all 3 kids? How do you manage it all? Do you feel safe? So by myself, do I go places with all 3 kids? No, that is something I do not feel comfortable doing. In Illinois, I definitely did not feel safe doing that. There was just, I don't know what about Illinois I didn't like. It made me feel unsafe, but I just didn't do it a whole lot. And this time around, I definitely don't, because my husband takes the car, and we are a 1-car family right now. And so there's never really an opportunity for me to go anywhere by myself with the kids. And it's totally fine by me. I'd much rather be with my husband, because with a lot of the stories that you hear these days, and I know you shouldn't be, consumed with fear about stuff, but when you have a bunch of really little kids that are all very young, they demand all of your attention a lot of the time. And so for me, out in public, I feel more distracted, and I worry about the kids, and I just don't feel like I can accomplish anything. And that's just my personality. I know there's several mamas out there who are just go-getters, and they feel totally safe, and they do all the things, and that's great if that's your personality, but it's not me. I'm a homebody, and this is just how we do things. I'm sure when my kids get older, that'll change, and I'll take the kids out more by myself and do library stuff and all of that kind of thing. But right now, when you have almost 4 under 4, it's like, ooh, I don't really want to do that. So, and I've heard a lot of stories from different moms of chaos things happening whenever you take them all out by yourself, and I'm just like, I don't want to put myself in that position. So that's just me. And then last question, where do you get your inspiration for your baby names? Any baby must-haves? So I definitely look on Pinterest a lot. So we definitely find a lot of our names from Pinterest, or if we're watching like a really cute show and they say a name and we both look at each other like, oh, I like that name. So that's kind of how we do it, and that's kind of how we found this baby's name. It was on the All Creatures Great and Small TV show that Masterpiece did. That's how we found this baby's name. She asked baby must-haves. I think I've touched on this in a previous video maybe, but my baby must-haves are sleepers, like zippered sleepers, muslin swaddle blankets, and like a halo sleep sack, and that's pretty much it. I'm very minimal, and I will share more of what I'm doing with this baby, because I'm being very minimal with this baby, because I just don't want all the stuff. I don't want to deal with all the stuff. And with this being the 4th, I'm not very materialistic with it like I was with Ivy or my first. So it's kind of how I'm doing it this time, and I'll share more soon. But that's all the questions. I hope you guys, okay, hang on. Like I said, this video is gonna be all over the place. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I do want to just give a little announcement. I'm planning to do a video every day in the month of July, so I think that's gonna be really fun. Just kind of help the months go by until baby gets here in August. And we have a lot going on in July, baby prep and a couple fun things. So I think it would be fun to take you guys along with me every day, even if it's just a simple vlog for the day. I think it would be fun. And I've definitely missed it. I've really missed vlogging. So, planning to do that. That way I can give you guys some content before baby gets here and before I probably won't film for a while. I'm hoping to do Vlogtober. Probably will, but we'll see. So, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new here, I'd love it if you would subscribe and stick around. And I will catch you guys next time.